Welcome back to Finnegan's Garage. Thank you guys for hanging out. I really appreciate it, especially those of you that went to fsmgarage.com recently and bought some merch. Because as always, every time you make a horrible decision and buy some of my clothes and spend your money, I spend that money right here on this car. And recently, it's needed a lot of cash. We broke the transmission in half weeks ago at Alabama Dragway. We are now heading back there today to find out, can we get off the starting line with the transmission in one piece? Can we get down the track quicker than we ever have before? And can we end 2023 on a high note? Let's find out.
I have to admit, I missed Square Force 1. For those of you that don't know, I sold it. Mostly because it was it was an interesting truck. It didn't have quite enough room or storage to really suit my needs, but it was such a great truck. I held on to it for years. And then right now, I wish I had it because that had the best door seals of any square body Chevy I've ever owned. Like, that truck only had about 48,000 original miles on it when I bought it, and it spent most of its life in a warehouse, so the factory door seals were perfect. You could drive down the road and it was pretty darn quiet. This, was a rusty crap box that we've restored, and it's aftermarket door seals, and they leak. There's no way to get around it. They leak. And I had the door seals and windows professionally done by my buddy Mark, who does a fantastic job, but there's only so much you can do with parts that just don't quite fit. So, might be a little loud in here, I apologize. Normally when we drive, I just turn the stereo up louder so that I don't hear the wind. Oh, look at that sun, it's beautiful, beautiful. It'll be a good day. We're gonna drive home. We're not even gonna go to my house right away. Not that I don't want to see my family, but we need to go to the warehouse, grab all our tools that we need to run the car. We need to unload the car because I got to do a little bit of wiring for the Bank Shift Billy digital clutch controller. I got to do that today because tomorrow morning we're going to get up early, head to Alabama, and go to the racetrack and test the car.
And actually make a real hit.
I don't want to jinx this, but I think tomorrow's going to go. Tomorrow's going to go good. I think we're going to struggle a little bit because we're going to run the car differently. It's going to take a little while to get the clutch controller, I think, to do what my left foot would do inconsistently, which is slip the clutch.
Except for the last time.
We're starting over setup-wise because on purpose, I'm going to put too much air in the tires, and I'm going to raise the launch RPM. Because if the track's as sticky as it was before, even slipping the clutch I don't think solves the problem of it dead hooking. So I'm going to intentionally try to make the tires spin tomorrow on the first hit. And that'll be good. We can make the tires slip and the clutch slip, then we'll just work backwards from there. We'll just keep picking away at it until it slips just a little, not a lot.
If we do that, it's a huge success over the last outing.
Oh, yeah. Anything above pieces on the starting line is a win. But, selfishly, I want to go tomorrow and run a PB. I don't want to just leave the drag strip with it one piece, because we've done that twice this year. I've gone to the drag strip, run the car, run eights, left with it in one piece. I want better than that. I feel like we've put in the work, we bought the parts, we put the effort into the car should be good. Hey, a lot of you guys have commented recently, and I appreciate, especially the positive ones, I really appreciate those. The negative ones, well, I'm not really paying attention to you guys.
It is what it is.
But a lot of you have asked about Joe, because, we did a proper introduction, but I don't think we gave anyone your history, your bio, your priors. We haven't told them. So we could do that right now.
Which priors do we want to go down?
The ones, they're
in jail or out of jail?
Family friendly. The ones no one will hold against you. So I met Joe, and you're going to have to correct me if I'm wrong on this. I met my wife in 2003 on the banks of the Colorado River. She was sitting there in the sand, and this guy I knew, a mutual friend, his boat broke down, and he said, will you give these 3 chicks a ride in your boat while I work on my boat? And so I did, and that's how I met my wife. Very little game, stole her because I had a really nice hot rod boat with loud headers and a big blower. And
But we actually met
I want to
before
say
that.
we met before that, but I don't know if it was at a similar kind of boating event.
It was at CBB.
We met at the Classic Boat Beach Bash at the
Right.
same place.
You were in the Cyclone then.
Okay, we met at the Classic Boat Beach Bash at the B Hotel and Casino in Laughlin on the Colorado River, the same spot where I met my wife. That's where we met. And of
We
course,
spent the day driving about 5 minutes cleaning out Mike's T-valve. 5 minutes cleaning out Mike's T-valve.
so I met you and Randy then at the same
Yes.
time. Okay, all right. So we'll back up even further. That would have been 2002, 2001. I
Yeah.
met you and my friend Randy Joyce at the same spot. I had a different boat, wasn't nearly as fast.
455.
Yeah, it was my parents' original Rogers jet boat, 1971 Rogers Cyclone, and that thing ran 69 miles an hour, no matter what you did to it. And
Isn't that the one you airbagged the trailer and then some lady hit your trailer?
yeah, Jeff Davey owns Devious Customs in California. He and I airbagged my boat trailer because why not? And my boat trailer used to drag the rear crossmember through parking lots when you let the air out of the bags. And my friend Todd Griggs and I re-gel coated my parents' boat. And when it was all done, I went to this event and I met you guys there.
Yeah.
And you ended up towing me quite a few times that weekend. Randy ended up towing me quite a few times that weekend. And we've been friends ever since.
Yeah. And I've told you many times after that too.
Yeah. I'm a work in progress. Well, at that point I met you. You had a jet boat, and it wasn't any faster than my jet boat. But then you put the big motor in.
Yes. Then it was fun.
Yeah, his boat used to shoot rooster tails that would hit bridges. Like
Over them.
Yeah, like the overpasses that were going over the Colorado River. He used to allegedly maybe get the cars wet with his boat. So Joe knows a lot about everything. He's crewed on an off-road race truck. He's crewed on a top alcohol dragster.
Yes.
He's crewed on my jet boats. Now he's got the unfortunate experience of working on a lot of transmissions in my cars. That's what we seem to do lately. Tranny work.
As much as I complained back in the day about doing a Lenco and our transmission and clutch back then, I'll gladly go back to do that.
Oh, dragsters are a lot easier.
They were.
The 2024, I feel like, is the year where we don't spend all our time on transmissions.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
2024 would be the year to finish projects.
that'd be cool.
Yes.
Well, all right, wait a minute. We finished a lot this year. So I don't know which episode it was, but a couple episodes ago, I kind of talked to you guys about what my life is like and that we build cars for TV and whatnot. And I said we had a busy year, and off the top of my head, I said we finished the dumpster fire.
Yes.
And that was all I said. So the next thing you know, there were people in the comments going, well, you literally finished one car. And I'm like, no, we did a lot. We got Blast Speed back together. We got the C10 back together. We got Dumpster Fire together. These were all for episodes of Roadkill. And I know we did more than that. We went drag boat racing.
Yes.
We went to Holly LS Fest.
We went to Cletus and Cars, Bristol 1000.
Yeah, we did the Bristol 1000. Went to Roadkill Nights. Like, we had a busy year.
Yeah.
I really hope that tomorrow goes so well that I've got nothing to do but work on the Cadillac over Christmas break. That would be awesome. just hit a big pothole on Interstate 24 East in Tennessee. Now we hear something metallic vibrating, so we can get off and see if we can figure out what that is. We've got some spare cabinets on the bed of the ramp truck. Maybe one of them are loose, but I don't know, it almost sounds like exhaust. It's definitely not drivetrain. We're still doing it even with my foot off the gas.
Yeah, it's weird. It sounds real tinny though.
Yeah, like a metal door or a heat shield, or it's sheet metal. It sounds like sheet metal.
Oh, maybe.
If it's not this stuff, we need to look under the truck because it almost kind of sounds like maybe the trans cooler is loose. Something metal, sheet metal, vibrating.
Let me crawl underneath. I found it.
Yeah, how bad is it?
It'll be all right. It's just a. It looks like part of our tie down that was holding the crate got down here. We are good now. Yeah, you can see it was slapping on the exhaust.
Was it?
Here's our culprit.
Huh. Is it wrapped around the drive shaft?
Yeah. And it wasn't real, it wasn't tight or anything.
That's better than a zip tie.
It wasn't tight or anything, and it came off of that.
Fell down in there and ripped it. Okay. Sweet.
It was tinging on the exhaust pipe. There's a shiny spot on the exhaust pipe. Damn, you got a good ear.
Dude, like as soon as we hit the pump, it was like,
yeah.
boom.
It must have like fallen down, but
you know,
it must have fallen down between the bed or something.
Wow. Two things I can count on: my butt dyno and my finely tuned ears.
It's good that you can hear, because I sure can't. A lot of years of going like this for alcohol dragster instead of putting headphones on.
Stretch a little bit, you know. Oh, touch the toes. All right, 2 more hours. Let's go.
They're all locked.
Big deal. This is our last gas stop before
It is.
getting back to the warehouse. Any idea what our fuel economy is this time?
We can figure that out real quick.
Let's figure it out. I got the calculator.
14,472.
We burned 11.4 gallons. 14,472 miles.
Minus 14,355.
Equals divided by
11.4.
0.47. Boom! 10.2 miles to the gallons. Now keep this in mind, folks. It's been a long time since I weighed the ramp truck, but I remember doing it at one point, and it was like heavy. It was over 7,000 pounds. So you've got a 7,000 pound tow vehicle with a hopped up compound turbocharged Cummins 12 valve diesel making 1,350 foot-pounds of torque, towing a 28-foot box behind it with my car inside of it, and we still got double-digit fuel economy. I could not be happier. Plus,
and we put it in party mode.
Plus, we didn't break down, and we're doing it with style. Like, this is not a brand new truck. We didn't go spend $100 grand on a brand new do-everything truck. This is a 73 Chevy. Still alive, still on the road because we put the work into it, and it is repaying us with a stylish, error-free road trip from northern Indiana. What do we get? When we get to the shop, it's going to be like almost 800 miles.
Yeah.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
I mean, it's been trouble free.
Yeah.
Pretty much
the whole way.
Since,
other than the ratchet strap falling off and wrapping around the drive shaft, we've been good.
But I mean, I've put a lot of miles on this since leaving Phoenix with the new trans in it.
Well, just in general, look at the dash. This engine swap got done 14,000 miles ago. And other than that one time where we broke the input shaft in the transmission, no problems.
None.
Yep. Some vibrations, things loosening up here and there. You know, the fuel shutoff solenoid fell off the side of the motor because it vibrated loose, but it took over 13,000 miles for that to vibrate and fall loose. And this thing always has a car on the back or a trailer behind it.
Yeah, we don't just drive it out of pure joy.
I mean, in the beginning, when I first put it together, it was burnouts everywhere, and I used to just drive it around town. It was great. But then I discovered how expensive 19.5 tires were, and I stopped doing burnouts everywhere I went. Dude, I can't wait to get back, get the car out, and just organize the trailer.
Yeah.
And cabinets. Fill up the water reservoir in the sink and use it. Like, that's awesome. Welcome to Georgia. We made it. Next time you guys see us, we'll be in the warehouse. So this is all the stuff that came out of my old race trailer. Nitrous bottles, CO2 bottles, tools, spark plugs, just totes and totes and totes and stuff. And today, it's not all gonna go in there because a lot of it is drag boat stuff and we're not going drag boat racing. But a lot of it is, and I don't know if we'll shuffle cabinets around today or not, but we'll definitely get blasted and unloaded because I got to do a little bit of wiring to the bank shift billy to make sure it functions, and then put some tools in for whatever wrenching we'll need to do tomorrow at the racetrack. Oh, that's so much easier than the old door.
It's a one-man job now.
So much easier. Can you turn the lights on in the trailer?
I can.
All right. We got the super extendo ramp for low cars. Let me have it.
Where are you going?
Let me have it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dude, we have this now. Look at that. That is a thing of beauty. You can do it.
Come on, you big, black, heavy turd.
There we go.
There it is, off the flat spots.
Off the flat spots. Okay.
Straight back.
Not touching it. This side looks close. How are we over here?
You're good. Turn this way.
Cool. Okay, back in my shop. Getting ready to load blasphemy and go to the track. We're gonna move some cabinets around in here. Over here, when we picked the trailer up, there was a broom holder and an extension cord holder. We repurposed the broom holder to hold 2 extension cords for now, and we moved them down here along the floor. And I did that for a couple of reasons. I kind of want the cords back here, but also if they move around and vibrate, they're up against a carpeted surface here on the bottom of the wall, and they're not up here kind of just banging against the paneling the whole time. And moving that, and then moving this, which is a helmet rack, and a wardrobe rack, by moving that and that out of the way, I think I can put 2 of the longer cabinets right here and have even more storage. And that excites me. I like storage. So we'll use some of the hardware we got from ATC and throw those up real quick, which won't take long. It's the metric. Run like bull. Oh, that's cool. So it's perforated, so you can set your helmet on here and it'll have a little air gate there.
Looks like you could actually add a fan to it.
Oh, yeah, that is a bolt pattern for a fan.
Yeah.
Oh, that's trick.
Right?
All right. There's your bolt pattern.
All right, so we're gonna shuffle some other things. We're gonna move the table forward next to the couch so that you could sit on the couch and conceivably turn left and eat food off this. But more importantly, we wanna get this away from where it's at, because when the car is in there and you have to get the blower out or put it away, it's like right up against the quarter panel of the car. So that is gonna come here, that's gonna go there. Much better. Go there. Very nice. Very nice. We just need to hang a big cabinet back here and another big cabinet there. And we'll have all the storage. So we rearranged the trailer and I'm really happy with it. And some of the things I realized after the fact were we're gonna put, once we get the new frames, we're gonna put the long cabinet here. We're gonna add another long cabinet there. Above all of our accessory mounts down here, it would be cool to have a table that matched this countertop right here, that flipped up from the wall, about 18 inches wide, but that was hinged and would fold down to here, right above all the gas cans and everything. But when you got to the track, you could flip it up and have more counter space. So you'd have all the benefits of an L cabinet, but when you're driving, you don't have the big counter sticking out, because right here, you'd have a car, obviously, so you wouldn't want it sticking out. But when the car is out and you're at the track, you could flip this table up and it would match the countertop right there. That'd be cool. Today we are at Alabama International Dragway, scene of the crime. This is the very same spot where not less than 2 weeks ago, we broke the transmission in half.
It's pretty hammered. Yeah.
And today, it's all about redemption, comebacks, and all that. Bill Armstrong, the inventor of the bank ship Billy, is here, and we just got it all set up in the car. Truth be told, it's been on the car for like a year. We just never set it up and never had a chance to try it. And we're going to use that to try to slip our clutch. We're also going to go into the left lane, which will not be prepped for a radial tire, so it shouldn't be as sticky as it was the last time we were here. And with any luck, the car is going to rip, and we're going to go quicker than we've ever gone before. You're not even trying to fire a car. Why not?
It's cold. She's stubborn when she's cold.
The idea that we're using starting fluid to start this with EFI bums me out. It's an E85 thing, or if I'm just not a good enough tuner, but in 30-degree weather on E85, this thing doesn't want to start. And I've leaned it, I've fattened it up. On pump gas, fires right up.
Yeah. Well, I know E is hard. I've heard it's harder in cold weather to get it to vaporize.
I'd heard it, and the last time we were here, all the guys that were on methanol and E85 fired it up on starting fluid. And I'm like, no way, I have E85. I'm going to mess with this until I get it going. Next thing you know, I got a dead battery from me trying to start it. So today I tried it a few times. Finally, I was just like, just spray it.
As soon as you sprayed it, it lit right off.
Yeah. All right, so let's go system. Let's make sure.
And this is the tune that you changed, right?
Yeah, I want to double check it. All right, 7,500 is our rev limit. 3,500 is our two-step. I turned that up because I don't want to spin the tires.
So that was 3,000 last time we were here. I turned it up to 3,500.
And we're gonna go test this now. So let's lower the two-step to like 3,000.
All right, 3,000 RPM. For those of you guys at home that are watching, we're gonna go in the parking lot and try to test the bank shift Billy real quick before we go to the track. Now, is there a way to test this without actually driving the car?
Yeah, we can dry fire it real quick. So you've got ignition and stuff on.
Yeah, you want me to USB link so that we're live or no?
I don't think it matters, because
Okay.
what we want to see is go ahead and set it up like for a launch. So we have miles per hour less than, or RPM in this case.
Okay.
Go ahead and hit your throttle.
Yep.
Now dump the clutch.
That was it? I heard it. That was it, huh?
That was it.
Okay. All right. So then this is set at 2,000. Let me double check. Or 3,000.
And now
so
that we
let's
can
send
actually
it.
have a conversation because the car's not running, when you launch it and when we test it down there, you need to dump it, because if you're slow on it, it's going to affect the timing of it.
Okay.
So you just have to dump it.
I'll dump it.
So the bank shift Billy is a digital clutch control device that allows a diaphragm style clutch to slip like a slipper clutch at the drag strip, and you make adjustments to it with an app on your phone. Basically what we've got here is a clutch setup in a car. We've got a regular clutch pedal down here, hydraulic throwout bearing. On your car, we're gonna set it up to activate with the Holly, which is how I do it on my own car. So you pull up to the line, dump the clutch, it's gonna go out to the bite point or the delay. That's where the clutch starts to engage or bite.
Right.
And depending on the track conditions, if it's a no prep, you can't bite or hit the clutch quite as hard because you'll knock the tires loose.
Right.
So you want to be softer on it. If it's a really good prep track and you're pretty confident your drivetrain can handle a little harder bite and it's not gonna blow the tires off, you can hit it harder. Right now, I have the launch slip set at 0.75. So it's going to slip the clutch for 3/4 of a second, and then it's gonna release. In a boosted car like yours, where you might actually be making additional power during that 3/4 of a second, we have a ramp function. I'm gonna set the launch slip to 0, but we're gonna utilize the ramp downtime. So we'll go to, say, 1.5 seconds for that. And you can see in the graph, instead of holding it and then releasing, as soon as you release it, it's gonna start to release the clutch over 1.5 seconds.
So your foot's on the clutch, the bearing's in, you have no connection between the motor and the trans right now. Now as you let the clutch off, if you just step off of it,
Or I can dump it.
yeah, just dump it.
This is how we break stuff.
That's how I broke mine. Now, bearing is off, foot's off the clutch, the discs are engaged, now the engine is coupled to the trans. And go ahead and for the people at home, just dump it one more. See how fast you can do this. Okay, that's what breaks stuff. That's what busts the tires loose. If you're lucky at the drag strip, it just spins the tires. If you're not lucky, it hooks like mine does and then just breaks the trans in half.
This whole first section here, nothing's happening. It's not engaging. It's this last bit that we need to control right here. And that's what we're doing with this.
Which means we're gonna have to readjust the
Switch or
switch. Let me test it real quick. I feel like the car's still trying to move. With the clutch in, the car's still trying to move. It won't adjust and it's stuck. I think because it's Chinese. There we go.
Not on? Yep, on. Yeah, we're right there. Yep,
Okay,
it just came
ready?
on. Off. On.
Oh, that's close.
Off. On. Off.
Yeah, that's as soon as you lift.
That's what we want.
Okay.
That's what we want.
All right. Okay, everybody. That took a little while, but essentially what I was doing under there was adjusting the clutch pedal stop so that when my foot had the clutch all the way down on the stop, the throwout bearing is pushing on the fingers of the diaphragm of the clutch, releasing it so you can put the car in gear. And then we're also adjusting it so that as soon as you let off the clutch, like as soon as you let off, it's triggering the micro switch on the clutch, which is sending the signal to the ECU, which is telling the bank shift Billy, hey, Mike just sidestepped the clutch, do your thing, slow down the fluid coming from the pedal and the master cylinder down to the throwout bearing. Essentially, what the whole system does is, if I was to just sidestep the clutch, the bearing moves really fast because it's hydraulic and locks the clutch up, spins the tires, or worse, the tires grab all the traction that's available, and then they start breaking drive shafts and transmissions and U-joints and things. So what this is doing is now I sidestep the clutch, it sends a signal to the Holley Dominator ECU, which sends an output to the bank shift Billy that says he just sidestepped the clutch, slow the bearing down as it comes out. And we're gonna go into the parking lot and use the app to get that dialed in before we go out to the racetrack. All right, let's try again. Let's try this again. I feel like it's gonna be much happier. Make sure we don't have a vacuum leak or something.
Yeah, because it just happened.
Yeah.
It was good, and then it just.
Hey, is the burst panel broken?
No, it's intact. That was the first thing I looked at.
What,
the burst panel?
Burst panel? Any of the bolts loose?
Could be.
This thing has backfired multiple times in the last couple of months, and I think it finally took out this gasket here. We went to go test drive it, and while it was idling, all of a sudden the idle speed just sped right up, and no amount of tuning or closing the butterflies is fixing it. In fact, the butterflies are all the way shut, so the motor shouldn't run because it shouldn't have any air, except it's leaking right here. And the test was to spray something flammable at it, and as soon as you spray something flammable like starter fluid, it inhales it here, and then the idle speed speeds up. And so I got it. Hey, Joe. So we have a leak here, needs to be fixed, and we'll address that here in a second as soon as we get it off. Hopefully I have a gasket or something I can make gaskets out of.
That one's on there.
There you go.
There it is, right there.
Oh, yeah.
That was the bottom one that blew apart.
Yeah.
This side's all sucked in too.
How come there's no bolts in the middle?
I don't know.
There's no bolts right here.
Oh, it's not drilled for them. They won't go on.
Really?
Yeah.
That might be an issue.
So what we could do is this moves the injector up and forward, and it's supposed to help it. It's supposed to make more power that way.
Yeah.
But I don't think I have enough gaskets to put it in there correctly, so we'll take this off and stick the big injector directly on this.
Okay.
We just might have to take the shoe out the back of this that's blocking the entry a little bit.
Gooey this is already, dude.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no bolts there because I believe this is not drilled.
The lower case isn't drilled for it?
Right, which is why we lost the gasket. So see that right there? That's bad. We're missing these bolts because our case is not drilled for the bolts.
Size even worse.
After discovering the gasket leak, I realized, there was an O-ring in a package in here. I wonder what that went for. So I went and got it and went, this looks like this belongs here.
Like
Sure enough. So right here where the joint is, we need to put a little dab of RTV or silicone or something
Okay.
right there, because that's where it's going to
Well, this is where I put the joints over here. It's not
It's on top of it.
Huh? Yeah, it's off to the side. It's not there. On the other side.
That little throttle body drives really good on the street, but it's a restriction. You lose boost during the pull. Like, you start out the pull at like 16 pounds and end up at 15 by the end of the run. You put this one on, you don't lose boost during the pull, which is great, but this was like the prototype for it, and the clearances aren't right. And what happens is once it heats up on the street, the throttle hangs open. And you'll be driving down the road and if you end up right where you were, instead of having a blown out gasket, it hangs the throttle at like $3,000 when you're in stop and go traffic, which is annoying. And they've redesigned it, opened up the clearances on the throttle shaft, changed the material of the throttle shaft. I've been told that problem is gone. I just don't have the new one. I have the old one.
Did you have the RTV?
No.
Where is that?
I think it's in a Ziploc bag out there. Oh, you smeared off. Smeared it all over the place.
Smells like vinegar.
Ready? Yeah. This smells horrible. They're not
threaded in the case.
Oh, that would be a good one. You have those self-tappers?
tech screws. All about the tech screws and the Scotch locks.
There, buddy.
Oh yeah, no. The one we took off is an original Hillborn injector, and it has smaller openings and butterflies than this one. Each one of these holes is 3 inches in diameter, which is massive. The other one, I think, are 2 3/8 or 2.5, I forget. And just being bigger wouldn't be that big of a deal, except the one we took off is actually too small for this engine. We've seen during the dyno session that when you start a pull, let's just say it has 16 pounds of boost, and as the engine RPM goes up, the boost goes down because it's a restriction. You bolt this one on, it picks up like 30, 35 horsepower, I think. Because it's no longer a restriction, the boost is no longer dropping during the dyno pull, the boost is staying level. And we were gonna run the other one and then swap to this, but since we had to take the other one off anyway, we're just going right to this because it does make more power.
Mike, so since there's a bigger throttle body on there, do you have to change the tuning on here, the mapping, or?
I mean, in theory, all that's doing is measuring the amount of air that's going to allow to go in.
Set off a grenade or a gunshot.
So
Theoretically, if you plug and play almost, right?
It should take some slight tweaking. It shouldn't be backfiring out of the exhaust. That part was weird.
Now we tried to put this new really badass bitch and throttle body on, but we have a problem where it doesn't want to go back to idle. It kind of hangs up. We thought we might be able to get it to work here at the drag strip. It's not happy. So we're gonna go back to the old school one and go make some party passes. Now that we've got the air leak fixed and everything else going on, we are swapping back. We tried. This makes more power all the way down track, keeps the boost up. We lose a little boost on the other one, but if you can't make it idle and not be safe,
there's so much return spring on it now that I can barely push the gas pedal.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, I grabbed the 2 heaviest ones we had.
They would.
The 2 heaviest return springs still would not close this thing all the way. It's just sticky.
I made it nice and stiff.
It's time for the new upgraded model.
Yeah. Phil, send it to me, please. So the new version, I believe this is a steel throttle shaft. The new version is stainless, and the bore through here for the throttle shaft is larger. And what's happening is the shaft is hanging up in here.
Okay.
So the new version of this throttle body fixes all that.
So what do you think we're going to run today on a quarter mile today with all of our new upgrades?
I'm not sure, but I just hope it gets off the starting line.
All right.
That's our big goal.
That's the judge shooting.
Off the line in one piece.
Yes. I like that one.
It just leaves the line with all the parts on the car that it got to the starting line with.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy about that.
I feel pretty good. I'm a little nervous.
You're a little nervous?
A little nervous.
Well,
Because the last time I was here, I rained parts all over the racetrack that didn't belong there.
yeah.
So I'm nervous about that.
No, they're not on.
This will be my first test pass with my rebuilt transmission. And this one, we're not gonna launch it full throttle on the two-step. We're trying to figure out if the clutch controller is gonna slip the clutch the way we want it to. So we're gonna launch it like half throttle and make sure the clutch is happy.
Well, our plan is to start conservative. That may not be Mike's agenda normally, but gonna start conservative just to see where the clutch setting is at. And it's gonna go one way or the other, slip too much or knock the tire off. Then we're gonna back up and make adjustments. Unless by the luck of God that it's right on the money and he's gonna make a full pass right off the bat.
Yeah.
We'll see.
If it leaves, he'll probably go.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. We'll see. There's a little bit of the way he has the clutch switch adjusted is not the way I would prefer to do it, but it doesn't mean it won't work.
So I'm just gonna go up half throttle, sidestep the clutch, and let the bank shift Billy do its thing. And we got an oil leak. Okay, first test pass did not go well. Once again, didn't even leave the starting line, not because we broke anything, but because we have an oil drip. I wouldn't call it like a leak, but it's a drip. It was enough that the guy said, hey, there's oil dripping, so. And who'd have thunk after making, I don't know, a dozen hoses and putting a new oil pan on that we have a drip. It's wild. Here we are. It's also a Hemi, rear mains on Hemi's leak. There's that.
Hi.
I bought a diaper from Motion Raceworks.
Can I have a diaper?
Let's put it on.
All right.
I'll get it for you.
Thank you.
Putting a diaper on this pig.
Putting a diaper on it?
Put a diaper on it.
What does that mean?
It's getting a diaper.
So do you put a...
So any kind of leaks on the engine
Yeah.
get caught.
In the diaper.
Correct.
Okay, good news. I haven't broken anything yet. Less than good news is I went up there for our first attempt and had an oil drip off the rear of the oil pan. It's probably coming from the rear main seal. It's a Hemi, they do that. And I forgot we didn't have the diaper on, so we have a Motion Raceworks engine diaper, which has absorbent material inside of it. And so we're putting that on the car right now so that should it drip again, it lands in there, not on the racetrack. Because you don't want slippery stuff on the racetrack. Guys, we're almost done. And then we're gonna go back up there and try again.
Our thermostat housing is cracked.
Oh man, so we're losing daylight now. We've spent all day prepping the car, then finding a vacuum leak, changing the throttle body back. Then we go up there to make our first hit and we have an oil drip. Then while the oil is dripping, Joe says we've got a water drip, and he goes and tightens the thermostat housing, and I think it cracked because then it turned into a water stream. And the water stream that we fixed with a microfiber towel and some silicone and some zip ties. And now my door won't stay shut. It's almost like the universe is going, 2023, just forget it, Mike. Let's just, why don't you wait till 2024 to drive your car? And I don't want to wait till 2024. I really don't. We worked really hard on this.
I was looking at the wrong part of it. My bad, bro.
Oh, good. Let's try this.
It actually closes.
you want, then you can go crazy.
Okay.
We just don't want it. We don't want you to do what you did again, because if you hit it just like you did before, it wasn't slipping the clutch at all.
Right.
And it would have launched like you normally.
And so it didn't slip this time either. The moment I let go of it, the car took off.
Yes.
So now what are you going to change in the software?
So I'm going to make that number, the delay, smaller.
So you're going to delay it even more. So we were delaying.
No, we're gonna make the delay. We want to catch it sooner.
Right. So you're going to make the number smaller. So you were, what were we before?
This was, I did it at 0.010.
So we were at. We were at a tenth of a second after I let go of the clutch.
10 milliseconds.
Milliseconds. Oh,
Yeah.
all right.
That's why that clutch switch is so imperative, because
Right.
it's such a small amount of time. We're gonna go down by 5 milliseconds. I'm gonna put 0.005 in it.
Okay. All right. Cool.
We changed the delay. We were at 10 milliseconds, and it hit the tire too hard, so we backed it down to 5 milliseconds. Okay. The clutch switch adjustment is not quite where I'd like to see it, but we'll see if we can catch it in time. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I think it's full.
So the danger in what we're doing, testing this way, is making hit after hit after hit, just trying to get the whole shot dialed in, is the blower's getting hot. And the more that thing gets hot, the more we slow down. And eventually it just gets so hot that you have to just park the car for a couple hours and, let it cool off, or put some bags of ice on it in a fan, none of which we have. And that's unfortunate because the sun's going down. So we're going to run out of time at some point. So hopefully this next change that Bill makes to the software is such a good change that we're, we minimize the amount of times we're going to hole shot this car without actually making a solid pass. And in scenarios like this, you start taking little chances, like not throwing the parachute because it takes time to pack it. I don't want to try to slow down without the parachute. And I obviously didn't need it on that pass because it wasn't a real pass. I wasn't underpowered through the finish line. But if I go through the finish line at the top of fourth gear, I need to throw the parachute. We'll be going over 150. The clutch out, nothing happened.
Okay.
It wasn't doing anything.
Okay. That means it was slipping.
Okay.
So let's back up. I'll reset it.
Okay.
We'll keep going up. So it slipped,
Yep.
and then it engaged,
Yep.
and that's when it stalled.
Yep.
That's okay. That's what we want.
Yep.
So let me just adjust it.
Alright, so we're on the starting line, playing with the controller. We are actively making the clutch slip, which is good. Now we're going the other direction to take away some slip, so we'll go. I'm talking to the camera.
Correct.
You're good.
Correct. We're gonna go back to 10, which is where we were before on the first pass.
Okay.
But I think they did replace a bunch of discs in this clutch, right?
They replaced one.
Okay.
One of the three. So we've been slipping the clutch. How many times did we do it?
It was 4.
4, 5, something like that?
Something like that.
So it feels like we're really far off.
It could be, it's just that first one at 10 totally hit the tire. That's why I went down from there.
Well, I'm wondering, was it doing anything though? Or did it not actually... Is it possible the bank shift Billy wasn't active then, somehow?
No, because it's tied to the clutch switch.
Okay.
So it would have done its thing.
Because where are we at now on the timing?
We're back at 10. Where we
And it still did it?
Yes, yes.
So do you think we somehow got it so hot that we just have all the slip?
I don't think so. Sintered iron discs don't quite work like that. The coefficient of friction doesn't go off drastically like a ceramic or an organic clutch.
So then what do you think?
we'll just increase
10 milliseconds worked earlier, and it's flat out not working at all now. What do you think that is?
Something too much. We just add more time to it.
No. What I mean is it worked earlier. It doesn't work at all now.
Yeah, it's slipping too much now.
I'm trying to figure out what the cause of that is. Do you have a guess for that?
It could be that the clutch disc, that one clutch disc, and did they change some of the floaters as well, or only the disc?
No, not the floaters. They changed the disc. The disc was fine. The hub was wore. The teeth in the hub were wore. That's why it got changed.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
But it is a fresh disc, so it could have something to do with that as it wears in. We'll start making what I recommend is when it's slipping, we make 5 millisecond changes. So we're gonna go to 15.
15. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And what you're doing is perfect. I mean, you've got the clutch switch in. We have it set for 10% TPS or more, and so you're not really hitting it that hard.
No.
It's not like if you are at full throttle and doing this, that's a whole different story.
Yeah.
So we'll get it, we'll creep up on it, and then we can get more aggressive with the TPS and everything else.
Okay. Cool.
Just made another change to the Bankshift Billy clutch controller. We are now delaying it 15 milliseconds instead of 10. These are tiny changes. And we're still only leaving the line at 3,000 RPM at like half throttle because we're trying not to barbecue the clutch. And as you saw, we have slipped it multiple times. But we're slipping it under light power, light throttle, no big deal. Yeah, it started to move a little, very little, but unfortunately I intuitively keep pushing the damn clutch back in every time it doesn't go.
Okay, but you did feel it start to move?
Yeah, just barely.
Okay, that's good. We're gonna add
So we're headed in the right direction.
So this is good. That means that we're catching it.
Yep.
Which was my concern with the setting. So we're at 15, we're gonna go to 20. Okay?
Yep. Okay, so we just tried 15 milliseconds. I think we're up to 20 milliseconds now on the delay. No, I got no two-step. Nothing was working. Nothing lit up.
Oh.
It's like it's not hitting it.
Did slam it down to the floor?
I did. Let's try it again.
Yeah.
Didn't do it at all. No, it worked, but the car didn't even try to move that time.
Okay.
And now the dial, it's not releasing all the way when my foot's to the floor. Like the car's still trying to move. Like we need to try to maybe shorten the bolt, let me push further, which then screws up everything else. I can hold it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like-
so like when you released it that time, what did it do?
Nothing. Didn't even try to go.
Okay. We can add, do you want to adjust it or just try? I'm going to add 5 more.
But yeah, put more in it. I mean, how about a big change? Are milliseconds that big of a change?
They
It seems so tiny.
Once you're there, literally 1 millisecond will knock tires off and 1 will slip it.
Okay.
Like
All right.
5 is a big jump.
Okay. Let's do 5 more.
It's not moved that time though.
Try to move a little bit, but
Okay,
you know.
30.
All right, let's try again. Benefit of having a drag strip. Oh, all right. Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
That's what we wanted to see.
Yeah.
Did it hit or did it slip and then go?
It's trying to bog the motor, I think, because I'm probably in a part of the map I'm not tuned for.
Yeah, but it went. So
Yeah, oh yeah, it went.
Right when you released the clutch, it went?
It, yeah, it went. Yeah.
Okay, then I think we want to turn it up and try that.
Okay, let's try it.
Yep.
Okay, everybody at home, that last one, which we stretched the millisecond delay on the Bankshift Billy out to 30 milliseconds, the clutch finally grabbed when I let it out. We're reducing the delay between when I let off the clutch pedal, we're increasing the delay from when I let off the clutch pedal that the Bankshift Billy slips the clutch. And so it moved forward. So now what we're gonna do is I'm gonna give it full throttle, which ought to make it slip more. Till this point, we've been giving it about not even half throttle, quarter throttle, and putting on the two-step and letting off.
and then finding, is it slipping? And yes, it's slipped every time we've done it. Now it's starting to actually slip just enough where the car actually moves. So we'll give it some real horsepower and try again. Two-step is on. I'm gonna go wide open throttle on the two-step and hope to God I don't leave any parts on the track. Here we go. All right, that slipped a lot. It moved, but it slipped a lot.
Totally normal. Just put more power to it, so it slipped harder. We're just gonna add a little more to it.
Yep.
Does it make sense now?
So are you changing the ramp or increasing the delay?
No, we're changing the delay. That's the only thing we're touching.
So we're increasing the delay.
So we're gonna go from 30 to 32. The iPhone finds it and connects it super fast compared to the Android.
So iPhone nerds, their stuff worked better than Android nerds. Got it.
Is better faster?
We finally settled the argument.
Okay, 32.
Okay. All right, let's try this again. 32 was not enough. I don't know, the first time, it's like the two-step wasn't on. So then I did it again, the two-step was on, but it's just driving through it.
Okay.
It's way too much slip.
34, we'll go 35.
Telling you, these little changes aren't going to be enough. It makes too much power. There we go. What are we up to now?
38.
38. So we're at 41 now?
We're gonna go to 42.
42.
Big change.
Big change, I like it. It's got a vacuum leak. How much time do we have left?
About an hour. Long enough we can go look at it in the trailer if you want.
Yeah, I'll drive it back. Oh, plot thickens. Here we go again. Now we got a vacuum leak. The throttle's hanging open. Actually, it's not that the throttle's hanging open, it's there's a vacuum leak below the throttle blades, which allows more air in than you're supposed to have. So it revs higher and it runs like the throttle's hung open.
We had a little bit of air leak on the intake. Came back, we had some bolts that came loose, tightened those up, adjusted the idle, and we are good to go. We're gonna make some more hits. All right. Try and get this thing to work.
It's a little stressful because we're about to run out of daylight and we're still chasing our tail with the clutch and the clutch controller. But, we'll go up there again, push the buttons, and hopefully this is the one.
So we're just gonna go to 50.
Sounds good.
Bigger change.
It's actually working. We're moving in the right direction. I just felt it on that pass. So let's put it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
It's all good. So like it wants to go, but then it slips. What about shortening the ramp too?
We can do that too.
Because like your delay, I feel like you're in the ballpark. Because when I let the clutch out, the car tries to move.
Yeah.
But then it just mows through the clutch because maybe the ramp is too long.
Well, it's just not hitting it. It's not getting to the hit point.
Oh, so more delay then.
I'm gonna go 5.5.
Not even close. This thing does not want to go. I'm a little worried the clutch is hot now because that didn't even try to go. It was worse than the one before.
Don't scuff it, all right? Don't scuff it.
That's all my fingers. That's all my fingers is a little bit.
That's numbers matching stuff there.
Hey, this is a one of a kind. Okay, what we got now?
That hood is impressive. It's been on fire and still doesn't want to come off.
Come on, guys. We need leverage.
He'd like the jaws of life to rip it open.
Oh, this is all melted too. I was trying not to damage this, but that's all good.
Windshield's junk.
I think you ought to just clear over all of it and keep going. Car gets a new name.
Yeah, the car's gonna get.
Toasty. Oh, he's not asking for permission anymore. He's over here like, you're gonna open now.
Still perfectly good. Hey!
Oh!
Alright, why are you going up?
Is it is? You're having too much fun with that hammer.
The guy that owns the car is not even that angry. The other guy.
After with the hammer.
John, hey, John, you got a YouTube channel?
He needs one, doesn't he?
How about Instagram, John?
I got Simple Speed is on Instagram and Facebook.
This is some
Go give Simple Speed a follow on Instagram.
All right, death wheel engage.
I thought I was having a day. I was not having a day. John's having a day. And he's still smiling. For the record, the dude that's cutting up the car, not John.
I saw this on a TV show on the side of the road once.
What's your name?
Chris Schauber.
Chris Schauber. Not your car, right?
It's not my car.
Not your problem, right?
Not my car.
All right, get down with your bad self. You're way calmer than I would be about this, John.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Got it.
Let John listen.
You got anything to say, John?
I mean, I'm glad I didn't die.
There you
I'm
go.
just glad I didn't die. Oh my God. Here's some shit.
All the
Toasty.
blower damage is on the back.
It's
So.
on the back.
Oh, damn it, man. Hey, your sensor's not any good anymore. Hey, I'm gonna tell you what. At least
might not buff out.
Yeah, it blew off. So you think it was a nitrous backfire?
No,
Somebody can actually.
The blower came in on the nitrous. So yeah, the blower did fail, and the motor just went to the moon because it was just getting all kinds of air.
Right.
Split the blower in half. Oh, look, it's cracked all the way up here.
Let me get a picture.
It was a big explosion inside that.
Yeah, the rotors grenaded.
Hold on, let me get a picture. That was his good heel.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
It's a valiant death for one of these versus when people just wrap them around a pole.
Yeah. But there were chunks on the ground, right?
Yeah, there was chunks.
There might be cylinder head chunks.
Yeah, the bottom's
Or wherever it's split. You think it burned? Does the blower case like blown out?
Yeah, it's got a big crack.
Let's check the oil.
Still got some.
You're not doing your regularly scheduled maintenance? Is that the problem?
All I do for work.
Look how clean that is, man. Don't even mess with me.
Little Flex Seal should be ready to go tomorrow.
Look how clean that oil is.
You're definitely making the next round.
Two of these in
Definitely making the next round.
It's just the blower. Put another blower
Look,
on
it still smells like ester and zinc, man. We're
There we
good.
go.
We're good.
Yeah, that's gonna buff out. Definitely. Hey Jordan, would you kill the generator for me? Oh, the remote kills the generator too? What is this witchcraft? The generator just turned off. Oh man.
It'll start right back up too if you hit the on button.
Really? You know what? I was having a day. I got to be honest. Car's back in the box. Never made it down the track once under power, And I was a little disappointed by that, gotta be honest. But then some other racer here, poor guy, was going for a record, and his car caught on fire. So I was like, Jesus, my day is not going that bad at all. It's back in the box, it's in one piece. Got some things to work on. Clearly the suspension need work because it's bouncing. And we're just scratching the surface of what's possible with the bank shift Billy. It will slip a diaphragm clutch. Like, we have proven that, because all day long we made that thing slip. And right towards the end, it started to not slip as bad. It was still slipping. We couldn't go down the track, you know, with it active, but it started to not slip. And we were taking just little minute changes in the software. We're talking milliseconds. We started the day out at 10 milliseconds and ended the day, I think, at like 45 milliseconds of delay in the clutch. And that was making an improvement, but clearly it needs more. It needed more than just a few hours worth of work here at the drag strip. And hours of the drag strip are hard to come by, but we'll do it again. And like I said, it's in the box, it's not broken, thank God. And trans is in one piece, so not the result we were looking for, but not too bad. And then, you know, on the bright side, there's a remote control to turn on my generator. Didn't even know I had. Thanks, Joe.
Yeah.
That just made my whole day.
On a good note, though, this is why we test.
This is why we test.
This
is why we're not at a drag and drive event right now, to find out, like, hey, you know, 2 weeks ago, the trans broke in half. That's fixed. Now we're trying to slip the clutch to not have the trans break in half again. And, you know, that's going to take some time to figure that out. So here we go. More testing.
Takes a lot of starts off the starting line to make that go till we get it right.
Oh my God. The montage of me just hole-shotting the car over and over again and not moving really. I don't know how many times we did it, but I think it was like
A lot.
20 times I let the clutch out. That poor clutch, it should not be happy about it, but it is. So far, seems okay.
It drove itself in the trailer.
It drove into the trailer. We didn't even use our winch, which is also wireless. I should have used the winch. Then I could have had two remotes in my hand at once. Anyway, thanks for watching Finnegan's Garage. We'll see you here real soon. I think the next thing we'll do won't be working on this, because I think I need a break. We're going to work on the Cadillac. See you soon.